The lines are open. 340-1590 gets you on the air to buy, sell, trade, look for hard-to-find items, simply give items away, or to announce your upcoming or existing yard sales. Dollars for callers. The Swap Shop rules are easy. No businesses, no services, no firearms. You can list up to 3 items per call, and you can participate every day, Monday through Saturday. Oh, and tell a friend about Swap Shop. Dollars for callers. And now, taking your calls live at 340-1590, here's your Swap Shop host, Clif Desmond.
Wow, it's really amazing because we keep everything together here, especially in the storm season. When the storms do come, we always manage to get by. We always remain calm, and we try to keep you nice and calm, too. Now, Swap Shop is taking a different form today and tomorrow. We're anticipating the arrival of Hurricane Matthew, and, of course, weather's going to deteriorate today. Okay, it's going to get windier, it's going to get wetter, and some of you folks out there are desperately looking for things right now, like plywood, storm shutters. Do we have any storm shutters left? Yesterday, every other call had storm shutters. Did you get any of them? Did you pick them up? Are they still available? 340-1590 is the number to call, and of course, you're invited to just call us anyway today, and because we're going to go into full operations mode, FOM, sometime later today. And when we do, all 3 stations will be simulcasting, and I'll tell you more about that. But in the meantime, we got a caller. Good morning, line 2. You're on Swap Shop. Line 2, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi there.
I've got some storm panels for sale. They're aluminum storm panels. I got about 11 of them.
Okay.
The prices range from $5 to $10 each.
All right.
Call for sizes.
Okay.
And then I've got a turkey cooker, those propane cookers that you use to fry turkeys with.
Okay.
That'll make a nice stove for anybody that needs it. You hook it right up to your propane tank.
Yeah, okay.
And that one's $10.
Okay.
My telephone number is 336-8497.
All right, thank you now.
Thank you.
There you go, right there. Did you hear that? Well, he's got 11 storm panels of various sizes, ranging in price from $5 to $10 each. You might want to check these out. You might need them. Call to find out about the measurements. And, of course, a turkey cooker. Now, this is a big burner. It's the burner system that you hook up to your propane tank. Some people fry turkeys in them. Some people make hot-boiled peanuts in them with a great big pot. You might just need something like this after the power goes out. If it goes out for a couple of days, this will be handy. So for the turkey cooker and the storm panels, it's 336-8497. The Swap Shop is on the air for you. Maybe you're looking for something in particular. Have a dire need for something. 340-1590. Don't hesitate to call. It's quite all right. This show is free, and if you've never participated in it before, feel free to do so. That's 340-1590. And we're sneaking up on 10 minutes after 9. We got to take care of business. We'll do that right now. You're listening to Swap Shop. This is Clif Desmond. The lines are open at 340-1590. Later today, we're going to go into full operations mode, and we're going to simulcast on all 3 stations. Our sister station, WSTU in Stewart, 1450. That's Stewart. In Port St. Lucie, it's 1590. In Fort Pierce, it's 1330. And if any of these stations go off the air during the storm, which I'm sure 1 or 2 of them, or maybe all 3 of them might, if they go down, you can always listen to one of the others. But then if they all 3 go down, the one last resort is going to be our old Ustream feed. Go to Ustream, get the app, look for WPSL Studio, and keep an eye on our full operations mode that'll take place beginning sometime this afternoon as we await the approach of Hurricane Matthew. We'll be right back. Yeah, we might have trouble getting hold of some of our sponsors today. Some of them are going to be closed. Some of them are going to be open, but be expectant of a lot of closures on a lot of places that you normally go. All right, now Swap Shop's going to expand for today and tomorrow due to the reason we are having a hurricane party even right now as we speak. And to participate, call me at 340-1590. Now, usually the rules of Swap Shop would not allow you to do this, but if anybody out there, if a business is listening in, I want you to know the power of the Swap Shop audience, even right now while they're out and about looking for bottled water and plywood and things like that they are listening in. So if you are a business today and you have extra plywood, if you have extra hurricane supplies, we need to know. who you are, where you are, because we can send folks over right now to come get it. You got plywood, extra plywood, you got it on sale? Well, the power of SwapShop is like this. Folks listening in right now, listening to my voice, they're hearing me, and while they're out and about, if they see a place where, well, let's just say sandbags are being distributed or bottled water is arriving at a store, let us know here during the Swap Shop. We're here to help, here to assist, here to keep everybody nice and calm. There's a lot of rattled folks out there right now, and let me warn you about allowing yourself to get all rattled. I'm not a psychologist, but it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that people get rattled, and road rage in particular, and it can happen in a line in a grocery store with shopping carts, okay? Yeah, road rage is kind of funny in a way, because it's dangerous, because people shouldn't do that. I mean, people with the road rage, they have got probably more of a chance of getting injured or hurt or worse as a result of their own road rage. You know why? Because you're so bottled up inside about something, you're about to explode, and likely to do so. And you don't want to do that in the presence of other people, because sometimes, when we lose our minds for a few moments, like we can easily in a tight situation, it can get really bad. You need to be able to get a hold of what's going on, look at what's going on around you, and analyze it. Come up with your own analysis of what's going on. First and foremost, are you safe? Is everyone around you safe? Fine. So don't go out there and make everybody unsafe with road rage, okay? If you're too impatient to stand in a line or do the things that we need to do, just stay home. It's that easy. I won't be staying home tonight. The staff, we're going to have a full operations staff here, simulcasting on all 3 stations. Now, we're not going to divulge yet. We don't know yet when we're going to go into this full operations mode, but we will be doing so at some point. And when we do, we're going to stay with it as long as we can. We've even got people coming to make sure our generator's going to work tonight. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Lines are open at 340-1590, by the way. Good morning, line 1. You're on Swap Shop.
Yes, good morning, Clif.
Hi there.
Looking for anybody out there that knows if there's possibly any generators left in any of the stores around, if they could give me a call.
Okay, all right.
Phone number is 206-6685.
Now, some of these folks have generators that are unused because they ended up getting 2 or 3 of them a few years ago.
Right.
All right, so we'll see what we can do for you, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right. Looking for a generator, and this will help anybody who's looking for a generator, because you can call this guy, and if you still get more generators afterwards, call me. 206-6680 is the number to call. Good morning. You're live on the radio on Swap Shop.
Hello, I have 2 generators for sale.
I knew that you were going to respond to that, because see, one for this guy and one for somebody else. Okay.
They're 5,500 watt, 11 horsepower, brand new in a crate.
All right.
Unused. 500 for the first one, 450 for the second one.
Okay.
And I'm desperately needing some 1/4-inch nuts.
Okay.
And some long drywall screws.
Oh, yeah.
About 1.5 inches, 5/8. I'm at 224-7724.
All right, take care.
Stay dry.
Of course, always do. In fact, I'm not going to stay dry. Getting wet is part of a hurricane. And what you do is, the wind will be coming from one direction, so go to the other side of the house and go outside, get your feet wet, feel real good for a few minutes, and go in and dry off. You'll be fine. 2 generators, 5,500 watt generators, 11 horsepower. Now, they've never been opened from their package. They're brand new. First one's 500, the second one's 450 if we want both. Looking for 1/4-inch nuts and the long drywall screws. Either or all of the above. 224-7724. Yeah, don't let yourself get rattled. You see, that's the biggest problem during a storm. You got that low pressure, and it seems to bear down on us. You have that heavy feeling today? That heavy feeling is actually the pressure from the storm that's coming. And if you've been through storms before, you're even more, I would say, aware of the feeling of the pressure, okay? If you've ever holed up overnight during a hurricane, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you know what? If you're safe, you're safe. What you want to do, of course, is get in touch. Keep in touch. AM 1590, AM 1450, AM 1330. All three of those will be simulcast in one big show tonight, one big hurricane party. In fact, we're celebrating right now. It's the Hurricane Matthew Hurricane Party on SwapShop, day number 2, with day number 3 tomorrow morning, and an all-night staff. We'll be right back to take more calls here on the SwapShop. Yeah, we just got to keep our cools, folks. You know, the biggest problem that I see with folks out there during a hurricane is how rattled we get and how bent out of shape we can become, to where our fellow mankind nearby doesn't even seem to matter. Shame on us. Calm down. You know, all you got to do is just kind of pull over, take that deep breath. Remember Joanna Gusto with Nutrition World used to do a show here? What did she do? She would do a little breathing exercise, and it calmed everybody down, you know, to do this. Just a deep breathing is all you need to do, all the way in and all the way out. Real slow. It's good for you. And it'll relax you a bit. Why do you think they make you count to 10 when you get angry before you say anything or do anything? They say count to 10. Well, what are you going to do for that 10 seconds? You're going to breathe. So just breathe and relax and show some compassion for your neighbors, okay? All right. 340-1590 to buy, sell, and trade on the Swap Shop. A little extended today. Maybe perhaps somebody is looking for some special items. We're going to be doing the show tomorrow, too. And the reason for it, as the storm continues to move north away from our area, any damage that's out there, folks are going to need the stuff to fix it with, you know. You're going to need shovels and rakes and chainsaws, all the stuff that we buy, sell, and trade all the time here on Swap Shop. On a daily basis, people use this show to make a few extra bucks. And the draw of the show is the low price, the bargains that we create with low prices. People call in, they mention it on the air, they give the phone number, and then a neat thing happens. The listening audience of this show, who just so happens to be a number of folks who love bargains, and they listen every day because they never know what's coming up next on the show. You never know what you're going to hear on Swap Shop. It's that easy. Good morning. You're live on the radio on Swap Shop. Hello there.
Hi, Cliff.
Hey, welcome to the show.
I wanted to know, I don't know if you can say it or not, but people are looking for plywood. Do you want me to say where you can get plywood?
Yes. Today we're going to bend that rule because we're going to show the power of the Swap Shop audience. Is there a business out there selling?
In Rio.
In Rio? What's it called?
Yeah. SPS in Rio, selling plywood, fast in, fast out, no lines.
Oh, wow. Okay, and what street is that on 714?
Rio, Dixie Highway.
Dixie Highway, I'm sorry. Okay.
In Jensen, Rio area there?
Yeah. Let's see, Mrs. Peter's Smokehouse is over in that area somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that info. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, no line waiting over in Rio. There's plywood. SPS is the name of the place. It's on Dixie Highway in the Rio area of Jensen Beach. There is hope out there, folks. There is some plywood. We will let you tell us where it is, okay? Especially plywood and stuff like that. Good morning, line 2. You're on Swap Shop.
Morning.
Hi there.
I've got some anchors and bolts, hurricane bolts.
Oh, you got shutters, hurricane shutters and bolts?
Yes, they're $30 to $100.
Okay.
And then I have the extra large door cage for $40.
Okay.
And then I have a medium size, $25.
Okay.
And it's 579-9839.
All righty, take care. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay. Shutters, hurricane shutters and bolts available still. How about your dog, your pet? It's all right. Put them in the house, but put them in one of these dog cages because they will sometimes spook out on you a little bit from the howling of the wind. And just put them in a little, there's an extra large dog cage for a good-sized dog. There's a medium-sized dog cage for a medium-sized dog. 579-9839. You're listening to Swap Shop. Special edition Hurricane Party. Hurricane Matthew Party. Ah, come on. You can do this. In addition to your calling in to buy, sell, and trade, you can also call in to report any place that you see that has plywood, hurricane shutters, the things that you need to make those final preparations. I have to make some myself. I will have to get out of here at some point later this morning to go finish up. And then we're going to all come back to the station here, the radio station, and we're going to hunker down for what we call full operations mode here at Ground Zero on the Treasure Coast. All three stations, WPSL AM 1590, WSTU AM 1450, and La Gigante 330 AM 1330, all simulcasting at some point this afternoon right here on WPSL. All righty, lines are available for you right now at 340-1590. Give us a call. We're having a Hurricane Matthew party here on Swap Shop. Good morning, line one. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Listen, the other day I called wanting some lady to rent a room from me.
Yeah?
And if she's on the radio today, I need her to call me for the hurricane because we might lose contact here.
Oh, somebody responded to the call then.
Right.
Okay.
Some lady called me and we was going to get together, but
okay.
I'd like for her to call me if she's on there.
Okay.
Now, this morning.
Okay. All right.
Because I need to talk to her about it because I might not get a hold of her for 2 or 3
That's
days.
right. There might not be no power. There might not be no anything for a few days there.
So
okay.
if she's listening.
Okay.
She's down there in Jesser and Stewart somewhere, but she's listening.
Okay.
Give me a call this morning for the hurricane. It's
okay.
772-464-5388.
All righty. Thank you now. Take care.
Have a good day.
Yep, will do. Yeah, well, you know what happened was he called the show the other day, and he had a room for rent. I remember. He got a call from a lady who was interested. He's lost track of her for the moment, and, of course, he needs her to call him back if she can. Call him at 464-5388. 9:34. We're more than halfway through the fastest hour in radio. It's the Swap Shop. And, of course, 340-1590 gets you on the air and to buy, sell, and trade, or to let folks know where the plywood is. You know, some folks are almost done. They've got almost enough plywood. They only need one or two pieces. There's a lot of folks like that. And going around and standing in line at big department stores and things like that isn't too cool. You know, you can do it, and you might get some plywood. How about for some of those folks that only need a few pieces, and there's somebody out there listening to the show who's had a half a dozen pieces of plywood in their garage for the last few years, and it's just sitting there not doing anything. You got storm panels now, and you got some plywood that you could part with. Call the Swap Shop. I'll bet you one of your neighbors could probably use it, and they wouldn't mind paying a few bucks for a few pieces of plywood to help you along, for helping them along. See, it all works together, and all you got to do is give us a call. Let us know where all the action is taking place. When it comes to bargains, folks listen to the show looking for them every day. And the folks that participate a lot, they keep the prices low, knowing how well Swap Shop works for them. And, of course, in this case, we're extending the Swap Shop, of course, for hurricane preparation. We're kidding around calling it a party. It's no party, of course. But we keep the spirits up. We keep a happy face on all the time, and we just don't worry about everything. You know when the best part to worry about the hurricane blowing your house down is? When the house actually blows down. That's when you need to worry. I mean, if you've taken care of it and fastened everything down and secured it, don't worry about it. You would be surprised at how well these houses are built these days. And as long as you cover these windows up the way you're supposed to and everything, you know, you can make it through these storms. There's really not that much to it. You hear the stories in the media. Oh, they're going. All of our friends and neighbors up north are freaking out right now, aren't they? How many get hooked on Facebook? Somebody's saying, "Why are you even there? You need to get out of there. Come on up here with us." All this blah, 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 blah. It's only a storm. We have to prepare ourselves. We have to make our home secure. We can't just leave, you know. Not all of us. I mean, some folks can. And that's what some folks do. They can turn tail and run all they want. But the storm's still coming. And some of the cases where some of your homes are secured already with panels or plywood or whatever, you still need to be nearby. If something terrible happens, like a tree or a piece of debris damaging the home, you need to know. Now, if you're on the beach areas, that's a whole different story out there. On the Barrier Islands, they evacuated everybody. I think at 8 o'clock this morning, they've asked everybody to evacuate where the storm surge. And you know who's not moving a bit, and we're going to have to check in with her later after the storm. But Angela over at Good Rides. A lot of the folks at Good Rides, the number one used car dealer on the Treasure Coast, one of our sponsors, these folks are all condo people. They love living on the beach. In fact, Angela gets up early every morning and takes a picture of the sunrise and posts it on Facebook. And there's a lot of folks that do that. And it's really cool when you know people that do this, because what they are is they are the keepers of the day. We can't get by without seeing that sunrise on Facebook from Angela from Good Rides every day. But being in the condo, they're the ones that they got to get out of there. They got to get away from that beach. I know some of them aren't going to do that, and I'm not saying that Angela's going to or not, but people out there on those barrier islands need to get out of there. You do not need to be sitting there waiting for a storm surge, whether they say it's only going to be this big or that little or whatever. It's not the place to be. Now, is it now? Head west, okay? Get off the barrier island. And be careful on the bridges while everybody's trying to evacuate, too, okay? All right. 340-1590. Swap Shop is still on the air. Now, tomorrow morning, don't leave me sitting here all by myself. If your cell phone works tomorrow morning, be sure to call Swap Shop. We might just open up the phone lines and let everybody blow off some steam about the storm. That's another part. It's called the rehabilitation after the storm, the getting back to normal part. See, that's one of the important things that we're here for, is the recovery. Now, there'll be first responders out there doing what they can, but out on the barrier islands, we are told that they cannot come save you and rescue you if you do not evacuate out there on the barrier islands, you see. Because, they can't put first responders in harm's way just because you didn't know any better than to get the heck out of there on time. Get out of there. Get off the island, the barrier island. Wait till after the storm. 340-1590 will help you along with a few bucks on the Swap Shop, too. Give us a call. We'll be right back. And, of course, we got to thank our special friends in West Palm Beach, CBS 12, the Storm Track weather people. They're talking about the storm surge threat out there on the barrier islands right now. And, hey, the lines are open at 340-1590. So for just a moment, let's head on over to Channel 12, see what's going on with storm surge threat that they're talking about right now.
So it does update this storm surge threat. And there are some areas right along the immediate ocean where you see the orange colors, which does indicate that threat of greater than 6 feet of storm surge right along the immediate ocean.
Yeah, and that's just the beach right there.
Of course, we're a little eavesdropping on our friends at Channel 12, the CBS 12 Hurricane team is on hand and available to us during this time. But you are listening to Swap Shop. 340-1590 will get you on the air to buy, sell, and trade. Look for hard-to-find items. Simply give items away or announce your upcoming or existing yard sales. Yeah. Well, some folks are still going to have yard sales when this is done, you know. I know John in White City at 1008 West 2nd Street. He hasn't called yet, but he probably will. He's going to have a yard sale Saturday. He always has a lot of good stuff there, too. The stuff you're going to need. Just think of all the debris you're going to need to clean up. You're going to need rakes and shovels and things like that. You're going to need maybe blowers and weed eaters and chainsaws to clean up the tree messes and things like that. You're going to need all of that, and that's what we're here to help you along with. And, of course, because a lot of folks are running out of plywood, and I remember just the other night before last trying to find water at Walmart. How many of you were caught up in that mess? It was funny because there was no water there, and everybody was looking for water. And then there were people who had been shopping there. They got in early, and they got their water, and they had it all piled up in the bottom of their cart, underneath the bottom part and up in the top. And while everybody's frantically looking for water, these people are cruising around in the store with plenty of water in their cart. And I was a little worried because I thought about that time I started thinking, you know what, I wonder if one of these guys might try to do a little gouging privately by, hey, here's some water here. You want to make it up to the checkout? We'll make a deal. Well, that's called price gouging, and there is a law against it. And if there's any price gouging going, that would include people trying to, make a few bucks off of the store they're shopping in. You can't do that. It's the store's business, not yours. But, people do things when under pressure. The same pressure I told you about that has us all rattled can become very dangerous, so we stay calm. Period. It's that easy. I mean, there is this syndrome that they talk about, fight or flight. What is it? When the bear is going to catch up with you. It's running, you're running, the bear is right behind you. It's coming to get you, by golly, and it's going to get you, and you know it. There's two things that happen. You're either going to turn around and fight that thing, maybe get away, maybe survive, or you're going to freeze up, lock up, and he's going to get you. The bear is going to get you. The fright or flight syndrome. So what you got to do is stay calm. Just stay calm. The bear is just an example of what we're going through inside when we get all bundled up inside like that. We get all bent out of shape, and then, of course, we don't think the person driving in front of us is going fast enough, so they ride right up on the bumper. Well, I'm the guy that keeps hitting the brakes when you do that. And I might just come to a dead stop because it'll be your fault if you run into me. See, road rage is so contagious that it can start with one person who thinks that they have a right to drive faster than you, and they're going like crazy. They come up behind you, and of course, all I do basically is I'll put the cruise control on the speed limit. If they want to pass me, they can pass me in speed. But don't get rattled, folks. Don't get rattled. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're live on SwapShop.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing, Bernie?
You've got 3 clamshells left.
Got some clamshell awnings left? Okay.
Yeah, there are 2 of them that are about 40, 45 inches long.
Okay.
Or wide, and they're probably close to 3 foot long. They're nice long ones.
Okay.
And then I got one that's it's probably close to 4 foot wide or so.
Okay.
Maybe a little bigger than that even.
All right.
And somebody was really in a bind. I might have a piece of scrap plywood. It's older.
Okay.
Good enough to blow the window up, though.
It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to protect the glass.
Yeah. Put a screw in it.
A few pieces of scrap plywood available. All right. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm looking for about 5 miles of plastic tubing. I want to run a line over to the Bush Brewery over here to my house. And they can call me at 466-3062.
You want a direct pipe homemade straight from Southern Eagle?
Yeah, gas line.
All right, take care.
Bye.
All right, he was kidding about that last item, folks. About 5 miles of plastic tubing to run a line from Southern Eagle Beer Distributor all the way to his house. Hey, keep the dream alive, Bernie. 3 clamshell awnings. 2 of them are like 40, 45 inches wide and 3 feet long, and the other one's close to 4 foot wide, maybe even bigger. And he might have a few pieces of scrap plywood. Give him a call at 466-3062. Needless to say, calls or not, we are here, and we will be here tomorrow, too. Needless to say, time still goes by fast on this show. Would you believe? We're down to the final 9 minutes, and that includes the break. Yeah, some of our sponsors were busy and sidetracked today by the storm, but everything will be back to normal by the end of the week. Especially by tomorrow when everything starts to clear out and dry up and return to normal. The cleanup will begin at that point. Now, our full operations mode will be taking place at some time later on today. And conditions will be deteriorating. Now, we know about the storm surge and some of the the areas on not just Hutchinson Island, but on the west side of the Indian River Lagoon shows a lot of places that are going to get flooded out too from the storm surge. So be careful. We'll be right back to finish our show. Well, today's show, pretty much like yesterday's, a nice slow go. You know, we don't need a bunch of hype. There's a hurricane coming, and there's enough hype out there over it already. We are the calm before, during, and after the storm here at WPSL. Our sister stations, WSTU 1450 and La Gigante Trenta, AM 1330, will be simulcasting with us later on today when we go into full operations mode, which is what we do once all the preparation is finished, once that last board has been put up over a window that's vulnerable to the storm. I mean, once everything is all cleaned up, locked in the garage to keep from blowing around, everything, well, then all there is to do is wait for the storm to come through, right? Well, that's the hard part, and that's the part we're going to specialize in tonight. Now, there's a lot of ways of checking us out, and I told you about the 3 radio stations. We've also got Ustream. Now, we've got the new WPSLTV.com, but we're not streaming live on that. We are putting archives up there. In fact, you can see all of our recent programs for the last 3 weeks, and I'm talking about our live local shows that originate in our studios. We put them up on YouTube. Just go to WPSLTV.com to see how pretty we are on television. Okay, though we do have a webcam feeding Ustream. Now, if you've got the Ustream app in your phone, then all you really need is to set it to WPSL Studio, and it'll be that easy. All right? Okay, so we've got 5 minutes left in the show. What do you need? We're here for you. 340-1590. Good morning, line 1. You're on Swap Shop.
Good morning.
Hi.
I just want to find out if the guy was on with the 50 panels.
With the 50 barrels?
Yeah.
The panels.
Hurricane. Yeah.
Okay, let's find out. All right, the fellow with the 50 hurricane panels on yesterday's show, if you're out there, who do they call? They give you a call,
Just
right?
call Joe.
Uh-huh.
At 361-3648.
All right, will do. Thank you, Joe. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. All right, Joe was hoping that the guy that had the 50 hurricane panels yesterday on the show, he's kind of hoping that he's still around with some of them. Maybe so, maybe not. Anybody with some hurricane panels, though, should call Joe at 361-3648. See, Joe was just looking for that one person, and that one person may have sold them all. So I set it up so anyone, he or anyone with storm panels, call Joe at 361-3648. 3.5 minutes left. Your final opportunity to be on today's show. We will, if I have to sit in here all by myself, we will have day number 3 of the Hurricane Matthew Swap Shop party, okay? It will continue tomorrow. We'll be here all night. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to and hoping that this generator does its thing because in years past, the use of a generator during a hurricane might make us the only source of information for some. Like those little radios. Remember the radios that came out 10, 15 years ago? They had a crank on them. You turn the crank, and there's a tiny, tiny little generator, that's a manual generator, hand crank, that charges the batteries in the radio. It's also a flashlight. It's a flashlight radio. You crank that thing for a few minutes, and you get, I guess you get almost as much radio out of it as you do cranking. You'll crank that thing for a while, and it'll give you, some time to listen in and find out what's going on. It doesn't take long, because we'll have all that information tonight once we go into full operations mode here at Ground Zero, the corporate studios up in Fort Pierce on 4 acres, which a few years back, Tropical Storm Faye dumped so much water on us that we had a 4-acre lake out here. And remember, we photoshopped a cruise ship in our parking lot? Yeah, we photoshopped a cruise ship. It's somewhere on the internet, maybe on Facebook or something. Maybe we'll dig it out and have some fun with it later. But no, really, we photoshopped a cruise ship parked in the parking lot next to us because the 4 acres was flooded. So it looked like the building was coming up out of a lake, and little old Tropical Storm Faye dropped all that water on us to where within a day or two it was gone. But it was sitting there for a good 24 hours or so. It was cool. We went out there, took pictures of it, and photoshopped a cruise ship in our parking lot. No, folks, if you find that picture, that's not a real cruise ship in our parking lot. That's a little Photoshop work, okay? In the meantime, we're going to urge you to stay tuned, stay calm, be nice to people out there. Don't forget, if you're rattled, that next person next to you there, they're just as rattled, if not rattled even more. And a lot of tempers on the very edge of tantrums. So, yeah, it's been hard for everybody. It is hard for everybody. That's why we're here. That's why we're going to continue to feed information that's important to you. I know that in some of these things are going to change. You know, you're going to have a little flooding here and there, road closures and things like that. But you're also going to have a lot of good stuff going on. So we'll see you tomorrow, huh? Okay, yeah. Are you ready to spend the night with us? Well, we're going to spend the night with you. We're going to see the end of this storm. Probably by morning. It'll be past us. It'll still be a little windy, but hey, we're going to get through this together, right? Right. I thought you'd understand. Take it easy on the road rage, though. Oh, one other thing. This is WPSL, Port St. Lucie, Talk of the Treasure Coast. A lot of our programming will be pre-recorded today. Stick around. We'll be live again a little later on in the day when we go full operations mode. It's 10 o'clock.